Prospecting and videoing this area has been a great experience for me, but a while back a viewer suggested I include a background to myself in my videos of how I went full-time as a prospector. While I worked for others, like the rest, and like many, found myself out of work due to the economies. So I made a choice. I went full-time into my claims, and in my spare time I took the last of my monies and started up boiler box mining. I keep myself pretty much sane through the winter building equipment. For other prospectors, just one of the things I like to do, keep myself busy through the winter months. I started out making equipment for myself and thought it would be fun to take this to the next level. I'm not much of a salesman and would really rather be in the bush any day of the week. Yeah, it's pretty satisfying though when you finish building a project for somebody, They send you a picture of them in their areas. I sure enjoy making things, especially when it involves catching golds. My favorite of these is my dirt hog. It went through many changes till I figured it was just right for me. In my videos, I still use the prototype to this final design. While being a small businessman, I needed to spend money right, and get a bit jealous when I make one for someone else. As I said, I'm still running my prototype, which works just as well, but my new ones are a little sexier, and I promised one for myself to use next season. Well, last time we were out, we found some interesting materials, and the golds were looking right to open up a new site. Well, let's hope this works. Stripping off the vegetation and the overburdens to expose the large rocks. Now comes the task of trying to move these boulders out of the way. Well, this is when a guy finds out once a rock of that size makes up its mind, it's really hard to change its course.
Oh, don't go that way.
Well, my plan partially worked out. At least the rock didn't drop down into my sampling hole. But I still gotta get it out.
Block that corner. Oh. One of them plans that didn't quite work out. It's pretty freaking heavy. I just need to get a grip on it. Oh, just need you to roll over. It's called being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Oh man, I don't know, this is just a little bit too heavy. Really didn't want to use the come along today.
Well, using smaller rocks around me, the guy can prop this up on a better angle to get a nicer grip and hopefully roll this thing over. But like I say, never give up. Just try a little harder.
Yeah. A little bit more leverage. Oh yeah. Oh. Well, tell me that wasn't easy. There. There, all in a day's work. Well, good evening. I'm going to work into the night here. Put another pot of coffee on here. Wait for that to brew. Got my lantern here ready. Sun's going down fast. Yeah, we're far from done though. Got my campfire here, it's ready to go. As soon as it starts getting a little dark out, keep the critters back. Yeah, kind of nice working up to the campsite. It's a new one for me. Worst part will be when it's dark out, I gotta walk 300 feet down through there, gas up the pump. That should be interesting. Oh man, is it just me or did the sun go down quick? Yeah. Don't tell any of my guests, but all season I've been having a visitor almost every night. Little black bear. I don't know why he keeps coming around, but he does. Yeah. Especially if a guy doesn't have a fire, he comes in really close. Yeah, we'll take care of that real quick. Yeah. Gonna raise a little hell tonight. Well, the fire's died down. I'm pretty much spent. It's hard to see anything in here. We'll clean this out in the morning. Whew. A couple little flakes in there from what I can see.
Holy man, that was some tough digging. Doesn't help that we're in the pitch black. It's be about 10:30, 11. Yeah, I hit a pretty interesting layer down in here. These layers didn't look interesting enough. I definitely like the looks of this material all the way down, but then I hit a clay layer. So then I did what any good prospector would do. I skimmed it off and followed it down. It seems to have a nice drop. It's definitely a nice deposit, holding good promise. But yeah, like I say, I'm spent for the night. So I'm gonna sit down and believe it or not, have a coffee. Take it easy the rest of the night here. Yeah, it was a good day's work though. You see any? It's hard to tell. Most times anything in there is going to be buried underneath. The odd time you do get a nice surprise. Maybe a picker sitting up top, but yeah, like I say, we'll clean this out tomorrow. See what we got. Yeah, till morning. Have a good night. Well, good morning. You didn't think I was a total animal, did you? Yeah, she's a little chilly this morning. Seasons are changing. A little cold to wash up in that creek. But I gotta head home today. I should have headed home there yesterday. But I guess the fever got a little bit of a hold on me there. Yeah, I'm gonna warm up by the fire. We'll clean out this high banker and see what we got there last night from the sampling hole. And then we'll head her home for a day or two. And then we'll come back out and get back to digging. Well, there's the results. And it's a little coarser flake. Still like almost zero flower gold. It's all flake, coarse flake. Yeah, this is proving to be an interesting deposit. Interesting to follow this clay down. Gotta take this whole section out here, wash this, follow this clay down, and see if a guy can get into some more nuggety material. Yeah, it's interesting though, because it's say more coarse black heavies, bigger flake, and almost zero flower gold. Definitely different than the deposit down from here. Yeah, the clay is looking pretty good. So you gotta have to really open this up and then do a little more exploring. Wasn't expecting to hit anything being this high up. Sounds like a fairly thick deposit. Yeah, I didn't get down into the lower section here. The guy really needs to open things up, explore this area a little better. Well, it's time for me to head out and get resupplied. And while I'm doing that, I might as well show you around this place a little more. Like this section of the creek that I call Lion's Head Rock is in the center of my claim. The seasons are about to change, so let's take a closer look at the flowers that lay across this ground. Like this Colombian lily, which is actually an edible plant. Many flowers are about to change to seed, or pod, or bear fruit. Some of them are edible, like this trail raspberry, which you can make a tea from the leaves, and it does produce a fruit that is edible and somewhat sweet. The Devil's Club does produce a berry, but slightly toxic. The early natives used to use the roots and stems for cold cough and sore throat, and is supposed to have magical powers. The dwarf dogwood, or bunchberry, grows local all over this area and produces a fruit that is edible and not only looks like little apples, has a slight apple taste. If you don't know what you're dealing with, just leave it alone. Like this flower, it looks like maybe an orchid family, produces a blueberry, but probably toxic. The scoopberry has a mild sweet cucumber flavor and more known to have a laxative effect. The early natives used to eat the young shoots in a sweet salad. The willow shrub has a chemical property that, like aspirin, chewing the bark is a great pain reliever, and if you chew the leaves, there's more vitamin C than in an orange. The juniper plant is known more for spice and a flavor in gin. If you dry the seeds, it's a good substitute for coffee in the bush. Wild rose bush, which petals could be eaten and the leaves chewed. The seed pods under the flowers hold vitamin C, but be careful of the seeds. The roots can also be boiled and eaten. The thimbleberry, somewhat edible, but definitely stay away from them powdery white leaves. These elderberries look really good, but they're not edible, so just stay away. The little white flower that this white spider used for the season does produce a berry, and it might look good, but the white or red baneberry are very poisonous or toxic, so definitely stay away. Common berries like the raspberries or the huckleberries are all over this place, even little wild strawberries. My advice to you before you eat anything out of the bush, get a book that's local to your area and study it very well. Kia here knows the rules of the bush. If you don't know, just stay away and you'll all have a great day. Well, the seasons are surely about to change fast. But no need to tell this squirrel, as he hasn't wasted a single day. There's signs all over the place that things are about to change. Like these toads, all trying to pack in to the Toad Hotel. They'll actually freeze through the winter and come back in the spring. Still on my way home, thought I'd stop in and visit a couple friends. The simple beaver dam, backing up water for his home. Not only does it benefit the beaver, but it creates a perfect environment for many of the animals around. like these Canadian geese to rear their young in the summer, as well as a simple little muskrat, which will also lodge up with the beavers. The beaver has always been one of my favorite critters. Like the human, it can control its environment and create one for his home. The sun's just going down as they're a nocturnal creature, and the beaver is just waking up and patrolling his pool and taking a look around. Well, I was hoping he would really not notice me, but being the clever little critter he is, he quickly scopes me out and starts slapping the water around. After a while, he begins to calm down, realizing that I'm not a threat, but them shadows across the pond are quickly turning to night, so it's time for me to bid the beaver farewell and wish him a good night. Well, today I'm going to pull this overburden off, pull boulders out, get a good gravel pile down in here going, and we'll run this at night time. And, today I got my son, there, Caribou Jr., out with me, and I got a prospecting partner out with me as well there, Dirty Dan. And I got him, my son down here working on the old sampling hole. You get your boulder out yet?
No, man.
No.
Feels in there ways.
Yeah, looks like a fair sized rock. Well, these two chipping away. Eventually we'll get this boulder out of their way. And my dog, of course, trying to hold her ground, but eventually you just know she's going to lose her spot.
Better chance than the last round, eh?
Yeah, I think she'll come out this time.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, starting to crack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you start running out of cable, eh? Well, now that this rock's out of the way, we can get the gravel underneath. Start washing it through the high banker. As for me, I really need to get back up top and get my job done for the day.
Well, I got the fire ready to go tonight. Just gotta strike a match to her and she'll go up. Hauled in all my firewood, split her up. It should last me a little while. Now I can get back to work here. Start stripping back this overburden. Get this hole here ready for the next block for a sample. We'll follow that clay down and see what we get out of here. It's definitely looking interesting. I'm liking this material. Yeah, we'll get to work here and we'll start knocking this next block out. And we enjoy a good fire tonight and a nice hot meal. Something I normally don't do out here is cook. Usually I kind of grab things on the fly, things that don't have much scent to them. But being tonight, I have my son there and Dirty Dan out with me. I made some Prospector grub steaks. I prepped them up there last night. All it is basically like a hamburger patty. Take your hamburger, egg, oatmeal, chop up some onion, mix it up, spread it out over some heavy tin foil, slice up some potato and lay it on top, a little seasoning. Yeah, tonight we'll throw that on the coals and have ourselves a nice little hot meal, which is always good after a hard day's work. Yeah, speaking of work, I should get to that myself.
Stripping the overburden, job no one likes, but the only way to get to the gravel's underneath. Well, the sun's going down fast, so I'll check in on these two fellas. It looks like they're getting quite a bit of work done.
There you go. 3 Prospector grub steaks. Fast food at its finest. Sure, after a hard day's work, you guys will gobble that up like nothing.
Well, with dinner over, I quickly tell these two fellas that I'm going to double shift them, as there's no TV out here, so we might as well get back to work. I sure know how to treat my company. I'm sure Dirty Dan's thinking he's just entered a work camp with no sign of release. Well, it's starting to get pretty late, so we decide to sit down and enjoy a bit of the fire and the rest of the night. Well, that sun sure did come up fast, and what a better way to start a day other than a little bit more high banking. Prospecting sure can be a lot of work, but I'm sure Dan here is really enjoying his time out in the wilderness, and a little bit of gold at the end of the day just makes it a lot better. Well, this ground is really starting to open up nicely and starting to look like a trench. But we have a long way to go before we get a good view into this ground and see the very bottom. The three of us worked very well as a team, and we all took turns throughout the day running the high banker and doing other odd jobs, and just enjoying the day in each other's company. Well, you give this fella a good shovel, a pry bar, and a rock hammer, he'll enjoy the entire day. Even though I'm not too sure what to think of him sometimes, but everything in time, and one day he'll be side by side with me, throwing boulders out of our way.
Touche.
Well, the day is coming to an end. We've had a pretty good run the last few days. Got lots accomplished, but it's time to shut things down and start doing our cleanups and settle in our camp before we hike out of this place. Maybe a cleanup on this. Ran probably a good couple yards. Yeah, I'll clean that up, see what we got. Pretty good dent going in here now. Everything seems to be dipping down this way. So we took out basically this whole block here. We're hoping that's basically a belly of a pool in here. That'd be the scenario. There might be some not bad gold to be had. Yeah, we'll keep working this trench along this face, and once the guy has her cleaned all the way out, he'll get a good view of the old channel structure in here. Well, this sample hole has proven to be good, so we're going to open this up into a big trench and see what we can see. Here's the cleanups from the last couple days. We did pretty good, as you can see. There's quite a few pickers to be had, and it was a good trip had by all. The boy sure enjoys looking at his gold, but that's gold fever for you. As you can see, the luster in his eyes and the smile upon his face. Well, we packed up and headed home, and we're all happy with our trip. Unfortunately, I don't think this fellow was having as good of a day.